Let's talk about two African American head coaches going against each other in the finals, shall we? Jason Kidd versus Joe Muzzula. Two guys who didn't get their due. Joe Muzzula had to come behind Udoka, and that was big shoes to fill. And you've heard people like Stephen A. Smith say, "You're a good coach, but you ain't winning without, Udoka and all that." Joe Mazzulla's been kind of taken for granted, but he has definitely imposed his will and his blueprint on the Celtics. And with the bringing in different pieces and parts, they are very cohesive. Actually, they're doing one up with Udoka, and nothing is just further from the truth because Udoka is a dynamic coach. You see, the Rockets are 500 this year, but Missoula has done a great job working with Brown and Tatum, and also incorporating Porzingis and getting Drew Holiday was a big deal. White off the bench, they've been able to utilize a lot of parts and keep things going. So they had to make some moves, getting rid of Marcus Smart, making some moves that they probably wouldn't have made, but they benefited their team. So they've definitely added some parts that have definitely helped them be productive with their scoring, but also with their defense. As for Jason Kidd, his history as a head coach, obviously with the Nets and the spill and the drink with Paul Pierce against, remember that game against the Lakers, and of course, not it didn't work out in Milwaukee with Giannis. And I thought, man, if you don't get this right, you coached Hall of Famers in Brooklyn, a future all-time great in Giannis, and that didn't work. And then you go into Dallas with Luka, and if that don't work, and then you get in Kyrie Irving. So he definitely turned the ship around, got everything came correct. And the best thing that happened to Luka, because Rick Carlisle and Luka weren't on eye to eye. You heard what's going on with Rondo and Rick Carlisle, but Luka got the right coach. They definitely brought in the right pieces and the parts, and you can tell there's a respect factor. And now they're right where they're supposed to be. But I am glad to see two young African American coaches going battling out, because this is what it needs to be seen. Black men in leadership, and not just on the court, but also calling the shots and saying things and running things from a team perspective. That is very vital and good and very important to see, because it doesn't happen that often. When you think about it, it really doesn't happen as much as it should. So it's glad to see that their minds are at work, and that they're crafting and doing things and getting the opportunity. So I want to give a shout out, because it's a no loss situation. It's a win-win to see two young brothers getting to coach against one another, which is almost, I gotta be hard pressed to think, because if a memory serves me right, I know about black NBA coaches that have won, but to coach against each other in the finals, this is pretty rare, and it just shows to show you there's still a long ways to go, contrary to what people think. Just because they see 75% African American playing basketball doesn't mean the coaching ranks, the GM ranks, the ownership ranks. And especially two guys that they each have a lot to prove. They want to show people that, hey, we belong and we should matter. And I do think they're very underrated and underappreciated, because you never hear Jason Kidd getting his due for what he did. And that the man has definitely grown leaps and bounds with putting everything together. His team is legit. He's sitting on a potential team that's going to make some run. And Joe Mazzulla, he's got the Celtics right back after losing a 7-game series to Miami, heartbreaking fashion, because they almost came back. Got him back. So I'm telling you, much respect to both these brothers. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shitter if you like my piece.